Welcome everybody, my name is Mason Fugue. Today I'm going to be doing some work on my home base. I'm making a copper tower. The copper tower is going to serve as a beacon, drawing people to my base, and as a warning, telling people to simultaneously stay away. So, here's what I have to work with. I want to essentially stack a bunch of farms on top of one another. I want to make it look like a cohesive statue. My plan is to remove the spire completely and replace it with a copper one, which will come down to the base and act as a giant copper monolith. It's supposed to look like it's made of pure copper, pure solid copper, but I'm going to be using other materials. I want to use materials that complement both phases of copper. This started as a mob farm that I learned how to make from BlazedMC. A video of his, video tutorial called Best Mob Grinder in Minecraft, version 1.21, Java, something or other. Right. So, like I said, I'm going to be making this thing out of copper, but I'm going to be mixing in a few other materials as well. Tinted glass is one of them. I like tinted glass with copper because it goes with both the pre- and post-oxidized versions. Purple is complementary to both orange and green, which this tower will eventually be. I left this in because it reminded me of something. Bad in there. If you fall, you might die. Yeah, I just want to peek in though, so I'll leave that there. That was an obscene amount of fall damage. I don't get what happened there. Shake my legs out. So eventually, I want to make it so that you do not see any gray stone. I want this to seem like a solid copper object. Copper monolith. It is made to look like something. I'm not going to say quite what yet. See if you can guess. Here's a good way to get rid of pod soil, by the way. You put block of moss in it, then bone meal it. It'll convert it to moss block, and then you have a bunch of moss block, which I needed. Well, you know what? I didn't need moss block. I chose to use moss block because I thought that glowberries needed to grow on moss. And I'm wrong. They could grow on anything. I used moss nonetheless. I designed this structure on paper before I tried building it. I'm going to include that sketch here. Oh, there's first fruit, by the way. I'm going to include those sketches here while I try to figure out the redstone to show you what I tried to do, and then eventually what came to be. So my thinking with this is once the vine grows down in front of the observer, it will trigger it so that the piston will break the vine, and hopefully a berry on that vine will be collected by hoppers underneath the observers. And then underneath the hoppers, I could even add another layer of, or a new plant, I guess. Start new vines of glowberries underneath the hoppers. And I cover the vines in glass so that, one, they're protected, and two, I'm protected, because if you touch those vines when you're flying, you go straight down. They kill your momentum. Looks awesome at night, I think. I do a fly-through of my base here in a little bit. I'm doing this because I'd like to illustrate what I'd like to have my Elytra race look like. I want to create landmarks along the raceway that make it easy to navigate from obstacle to obstacle. In my previous world, I did make a ghast hangar in the corner, pretty much next to where the Pillager stronghold is. Or what is it called? Pillager Outpost? Yeah, Pillager Outpost. I don't know what I'm going to build there yet. I want to build something there. I have a feeling it's going to be another stronghold type building. I started work on the floor again and slowly lost my mind. I recorded way too much footage of me building that floor, me building this base in general. Ultimately, I had to just scrap it. It's so boring and unwatchable. This was the very cream of the crop of that footage. I won't bore you with it, but there's the base. It took a long time. The base is going to be not only a stronghold type building, but also a quarry and the base to the sculpture. I'm covering all the stone I can. Like I said earlier, I do not want to see any stone once I'm done. I decided to add another floor and another layer to the vines. Instead of one long plant, I decided to make two shorter plants. One of my worst traits is how obsessive I get and how singularly focused I can be. For a few weeks, I was at this. I didn't play every day when I was doing this, but every time I played, all the time I played rather, I was doing this and I was recording it. But here it is. I wanted to share my vision. I had an idea in mind and I needed to bring it into the world. My original idea for this tower was for it to be an amethyst tower. Now, that's a lot of amethyst. And really it's a uniform block. There isn't, yeah, there's only that in the budding ones, which I don't think you could harvest as far as I know. I'm going to keep some of the amethyst as flooring in some places or as wall, and others there's going to be tinted glass. I'm going to be using amethyst still, but now it's going to be a copper tower instead of an amethyst tower. I inadvertently created a huge spawning platform for new mobs, so that's going to mess with the mob generation in my mob grinder. So I will have to go down and light that up really well, because as you saw, there are tons of ghoulies. I still haven't started on the other farms I want to include in this tower. I feel like a broken record at this point, but in the other version of this world, which I failed to back up and lost, I started collecting fish and axolotls for the tower. I hadn't started any work on the glowberries. What I'm debating here is whether or not to enclose the sides. I like leaving the glowberry exposed, but the level below, where the mob grinder is, I'm thinking of enclosing. The problem is that I fly in there so often that I don't want to create walls in which I'll smack into and kill myself. I'm thinking maybe a honey wall that I could crash into. But right now, just leaving the walls open is the practical utilitarian option. All right. You get hurt so much. I know. Hey, look at this. Look at this bee spin. Look at that. Oh, look, it's home. Wow, hey. Those are local bees. Those are home spawned. Home spawned. I like that. So as you could see, it took me so long to build this frickin' thing that it oxidized. To be honest with you, I don't know how oxidation works. Maybe it has to do with air exposure and light? I don't know. Water? It probably has to do with water. I really like the light that the glowberries give off. It's just a little too dark to prevent spawning. I need to have these absolutely everywhere if I wanted to light it up with just the glowberry. So I'm going to try to do most of the heavy lifting as far as lighting with the glowberry, but I will have to use lanterns. So the levels below the mob grinder are going to be where I store a lay and sniffer and make all the other farms that I mentioned in my note. That's going to take a while, and I don't know that I want to record myself making them necessarily. I'll make an update or a new video, showing new farms or whatever, but yeah, I'm going to have that stuff be more background. I don't know that I want to make a video specifically about one build like this again. I do love building in this game, and it happens organically, but with this project specifically, I felt that I needed to produce a build more quickly than usual because I wanted to keep the idea fresh in my head. I had a drawing of it, but the drawing even didn't do what I wanted to do justice. If you can draw something and put it on paper, then that's getting you that much closer to manifesting your thing, to bringing it into either Minecraft or reality. So this is more or less the finished product. What do you think? I really like it. I like the mixed, ununiform nature of the copper. I mean, now it is uniform, all green, which is nice too. But then I could do this. That's kind of fun. Whee! I'm a madman. I can just run around like a fool and just strip away. So there it is. This is current day. As I look at the mob grinder this morning, I'm happy with it. I've made a llama sanctuary of it. I've slowly brought the llamas that come with the wandering traders, sorry, and brought them up here by Gast, started breeding them, and I have some pretty good llamas now. And you can see the main two up there. Both of those feature a full chest on them. So what is that? 12 slots? Both of those llamas have 12 slots. Oddly enough, not all of their offspring have 12 slots. Some of them do. Most of them do. Just not all of them. So those are the ones that end up in the boats on the bottom level. And they end up going down there. They don't die. They just, carry out their lives peacefully as non-12 slotted llamas. So yeah, here it is. I think it looks really cool. It's not done yet. I still have a lot of work to do. But here's where I am. I hope that Maybe you could take something from this. I don't know. At the very least, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Bye. Guess there's no need for this now. All right, check it out. Here it is. Yes. All right. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to give him a nice little hat, nice little crown. Whoa. I also that's actually pretty wild. So I want to put lightning rods up there. There isn't much flammable stuff here anymore, especially that I have that, which acts as a lightning rod. But as you just saw, sometimes you'll just get stray bolts. So, like that. Oh my god, I was literally just right here. You see? Whoa. Cool. Wow. Okay. So, watching back the footage made me want to put an antenna on this guy. So I finally reveal what it is I was trying to make. And if you guessed copper golem, then congratulations, you guessed correctly. Because that's what the inspiration was. I wanted to make a big copper golem that had multiple purposes like the little guy himself. And in case you're worried about his well-being, don't worry, he's doing fine. He's down in a storage room. Hey, champ, how you doing? Doing what he does best. So, it's all good. And, yeah, I am about to give this guy a proper crown. Nice little antenna. Something on top of his head that isn't just a big white bald spot, an eyeball peering into the sky. But I still want to keep it mob proof. So I'm going to slab it up here. It's going to look a little weird at first, but that's okay. We're all about that weirdness here. This has been Mason Fugue. Thanks for checking out my video. Stay tuned for more. Bye now.